Hello guys, I'm back and I have just one very, very important thing to tell you, which is what's going on this week, and we're going to be finding out exactly what it is that's going on, what's going to be moving the market, and most importantly, how we are going to use this in order to understand what is going to be happening with the Bitcoin price. So there are a few major things. Right now, we're looking at data. We're looking at data coming out from the likes of the ECB, look at data coming out from the likes of the US as well. So what I think I'm going to start with, and obviously guys, as always, make sure you like the video, make sure that you drop a little comment if you have anything that you want us to cover. But let me just jump straight into this and find out exactly what we're looking at. So boom, here we go. First things first, I'm not even going to start with this actually. I'm going to start with the economic calendar. So we're looking at, look, we have GDP for the 3 months of the UK, 3-month average. So hoping to see a bit of a push in the UK, which is very, very good. Then we have the inflation rate for Germany, employment change for the UK. We have the economic sentiment for the Eurozone in 2 days, but we also have that later on in the week with the Michigan consumer sentiment for the US. But one thing I think we should really kind of take away here, guys, is that, like, we have a lot of data coming out from the Eurozone. And this is within the next few days. So one thing that is absolutely for sure is whenever we have seen this before, we've always seen the massive trend of us having, a huge amount of data coming out from the likes of Euro, whatever. So when people are unsure, they are moving their money into one specific place. If you're a European investor, you're going to be moving your money, boom, straight up into the DXY. You're going to be buying dollars. You're going to be buying dollars. Why would you not be buying dollars? Because it's a safe haven, because it's a growing asset. Why would you not be buying the DXY relative to the euro? You would be. So, whenever there's uncertainty like this core inflation data, I expect personally for us to see the DXY have a nice little pump. I do think it could change, obviously, with retail sales. This is going to give us a good idea of how strong the kind of the consumer, they say the consumer is. But there's not really any weightlifting contests. So really what it is actually just how much buying power we see that people have in the US. So looking at this, I think it's going to be like a very, very key understanding because, not only from the Eurozone, but we also get from the UK, we get the employment data coming up, and we also get that core inflation from the UK as well. And then also core inflation from the US. So obviously this is going to be absolutely massive. This will be what is going to determine what we are looking for later on when we have our Fed rate hike. Currently, there's a 75 basis point hike, pretty much priced in, and that's okay. I'm pretty sure we're going to hit that. It will not go down. It will not. I've said it now, and you can hold me to it. I'll pay you £1,000 if we see less than a 75 basis point hike. But I'm almost certain we're going to see a 75 basis point hike or higher. Anyway, so we have this coming up next week. This is going to be the big thing that moves the market. But, just be sure, again, there is this uncertainty that's going around within pretty much all of the financial markets. So we might see a move away from those risk-on assets, maybe into the dollar, maybe into things like gold, for example. But in the crypto market, let's get down to it. We're looking at the 15th of September. We have the Ethereum mainnet merge. This is the big news. This is what everybody is so excited for. It's scheduled to be around about Sound Money, I believe it was. It's Sound Money, or it's something as such. Ultrasound.money. Here we go. No, it's not Sound Money. Ultrasound.monies. Here we go. So we can see here exactly when the rough estimated time. And we can also have a look because Google have added a very nice little thing here. I recommend you guys all go check this out. You can find out based on the hash rate when we will see the merge happen. 3 days, 10 hours, and 30 minutes. But apart from that, there's not really too much going on. A little bit of Tron news. Personally, I'm not really a great fan of Tron, I will say. But apart from that, there's not really a huge amount. If you guys like any of these companies, drop me a message down below, hit me up in the comments, and I will obviously, kind of go through them. But I think, to be honest, there's not a huge amount of news worth mentioning. But I will just say, look, we are obviously not only going to have a merge, but there's going to be a fork in the current chain of Ethereum. We're going to have a proof of stake, but also there are people looking to have a proof of work. And so I think when this happens, there is going to be that miner-led Ethereum fork. Because if you're an Ethereum miner and Ethereum moves to proof of stake, you can't mine anymore. So you can't earn any money. And if you can't earn any money, what will you do? Maybe you should mine Bitcoin, but you can't, because they're two completely different systems. Typically, Ethereum is merged with close that, see you later. Typically, Ethereum is merged with like a GPU, whereas Bitcoin is an ASICS. Might have got that wrong. Let me know if I have. I think I want to say ASICS, something like this. It's just a much more powerful processor in order to be able to kind of do the calculations in order to mine a certain crypto. But because a lot of these GPUs for Ethereum are going to now be pretty much useless, there probably will be a miner-led fork. People who've got rich off it, people who've been doing it for ages, they probably want to be able to keep earning this money. So this is one thing that we should look at. But secondarily, I want to say, look, I put something on Twitter saying, look, Bitcoin obviously is having a pump. We went from that nearly 19, bomb, straight up to $21,500. So I said, look, is it a sustainable pump or is it just a short squeeze? And I think it is a short squeeze. I think we're being squeezed. I think the liquidations are too high. And I think realistically, this is what's going to be happening because, we get down to a certain price. If I want to manipulate the price and I want to earn a lot of money from crypto, I would be getting as many stop losses as possible. I'm going to be pumping that price as hard as I can. So everyone gets their stop loss triggered, they all lose faith, and then bomb. I stop with my buying pressure, but I keep my selling pressure. The price comes right down, 12, 15K, something like this, and I'm ready to buy again. This is exactly what institutional investors do all of the time. And something that I think, realistically, we have to be more astute to, because I think it does happen a lot. And ultimately, yes, we've had a nice little price start, push to the upside. But at the end of the day, I think looking at the overall area of where we are and the overall area as to where we've been, we're still in a downtrend. Looking at those wider timeframes, we're still looking at that downtrend. Unfortunately, even if this is a nice little short squeeze, I think this is a major area of resistance that we're getting to around about its 22K level, and I think we will probably see a big push to the downside. Especially next week, like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty, so risk on assets are not going to be favored when we have the likes of coming through the euro sentiment, looking at core inflation for the US, looking at the 3-month GDP in the UK, further on, looking at retail sales, Michigan consumer state, core inflation. All of these are very risky. You don't know what's going to happen. So I think we're going to have that risk off sentiment. And that's something that I, would very much advocate for us being at least semi-aware of. But anyway, I'm going to end it there. I'm going to keep it nice and short. That's everything that I think. If you have a quick question, drop it down in the comments and I'll quickly answer that. But personally, for me, I think, we really are looking at quite a risk-off type week ahead, not just for now. Obviously, look, the most important bit of news coming out of next week is 100% without a shadow of a doubt, the core inflation and the inflation rate, without a doubt. But the main thing that this influences, and I always hate doing this, typing in my search history so I get auto refills whenever you guys are watching live on YouTube, because I don't know what I've typed in before. We're all guilty. Shut up. It's not me. But look at this. We're 75 basis point hike. We're 91% sure that that's going to happen. And like I said, I saw it when it dropped from 60 down to 30 something, high 30s, low 40s, about percentage chance of us having a a 75 basis point hike. I said then we're wrong. I said they're wrong. I said they are wrong because I know 100% exactly what the Fed have said. They've said we're not going to stop. We're going to do everything that's necessary. So you know what? I would even eradicate this 50 basis point hike. I don't know who this 9% are, but straight up, I can tell you they're wrong. No chance, right? No chance. This is not going to happen. I would even sling a 9% chance on a 100 basis point hike. That's how confident I would be. I would probably put, only a 9% because I don't think it's going to happen. But like I would sling a 9% chance on a 100 basis point hike because I think it's 75 or more, not 75, maybe less. I absolutely don't think this is ever going to happen. I could be wrong, obviously, but from so far, regarding the Fed, I've been fairly on point as far as we've gone so far. So I would personally say whatever it is that affects this, which basically is this is going to be very catalytic. We're going to see the VIX volatility index increase. We'll see, probably depending on what this comes out. Obviously, I'm going to go live and I'll tell you the exact scenarios. But the bottom line is, if we see inflation come lower than expected, hoorah, let's have a great party. That's good. Risk assets up, Bitcoin up, fantastic. If we see this come in higher than expected, we get an 8.3 or we get a 6.2, 6.3, 6.5, whatever this might be, then we're going to see assets come down because this means more tightening for a longer period of time and a lot more people very unhappy. And also I might cry and I might hate myself because my asset is not going to go up anytime soon. But neither will yours. So we're all in the same boat. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a good day. Thanks for joining me on a Sunday. I will leave you all alone now. Have a great evening. And I will see you tomorrow to discuss exactly how it's all panned out. And most importantly, see you on Wednesday to make sure that we understand exactly what the CPI is doing. Take care. Thank you very much. See you later.